Shalom, my name is Angelina and welcome to my little slice of heaven in Hull. It's a balmy 8 degrees, but the wind would absolutely chop you in half. It's freezing. Now you may remember, if you watch regularly, that about 4 weeks ago I sowed some seeds on top of the cooker in the kitchen. As soon as they were germinated, I put them on the windowsill for another few days. And then I brought them down to the allotment and put them inside a little grow house inside the greenhouse. That just keeps them frost free. So today I'm going to go and get those and I'm going to go prick them out, pot them on. So here we go. So here we have the greenhouse. It does need repairs. I might even get onto that today because although it's after 3, it's very sunny. And this is my little grow house I treated myself to last year. It makes all the difference when you are hardening off seedlings. They will go back in here once I've transplanted them. So this is my brassicas that I planted. Let's take them into the greenhouse. Sorry, the polytunnel. Let's take them into the polytunnel. There we are. See that breeze on them? That breeze is freezing. But it's the afternoon, so it's not as cold as it was this morning. Into the polytunnel. Oh, that was much nicer. And just pop them there. There we are. Now I have brought a bucket of soil that I kept in the house because although these are hardy, I don't want to put them into freezing cold soil. So that's going in there. Like that. I'm just using this till I can find a bigger tray. There's got to be something recycled. I've got my eye on something, but it's got some things in it at the moment. So, fill this up. It's got the tray with no holes in underneath and a multi-cell. Just fill that with compost. There we are. Shake so there's no air pockets in there. And then I think I'll start with cauliflowers at one side and broccolis at the other. They've gone a bit leggy, but they're not unsavable. So let's see. Okay, the selfie stick's gone for a Burton, so I'm going to try and show you one-handed how to pot on a delicate little seedling that's gone a bit leggy. This is a cauliflower. Now you must never ever hold it by its delicate little stem or its deed. Hold it by these leaves, pop it down into the hole, just get it in a bit deep, and then gently pop some soil around it and Bob's your uncle. Now I've planted I have sown a bit more seeds than I needed to transplant. So I want about 6 to 8 plants. So I sowed about 14 seeds. Just a little bit more actually. I thought I planted 4, it looks about 20. But if you plant about 14 to 20 seeds, then when you're doing your transplanting, there'll always be some that break or were too leggy, or you held them by the stem by accident. And then if you want about 8, sow about 10 to 12. If you want 6 to 8. And then you will have you're more likely to have your 6 to 8 plants to put into the ground when you're ready. So that's just a good tip, to not sow too many seeds, but not too few, because you're always going to have a bit of spoilage. So I'll just show you how much spoilage there is here. See, some of this is going to go in the compost, because you can't be too precious about little seedlings. When you've got enough, you've got enough. You'll only stress yourself out trying to find places for them that you haven't got. So I have got a space that's for 6 to 8 of each, of the broccoli and the cauliflower, and that is my aim. If they all come up nicely and there's a spare 2 or 3, I can always give them to another allotmenter, or it's easier to find a space for them. But it's not easy to find a space for 30. If you sowed 40, got 30. See what I mean? So I'm back in that mini greenhouse, inside the greenhouse. I've put a label at the end of every row to show what I've got here. And I now have broccoli, cauliflower, spinach, and winter cabbage. And this is a bag of dried milk. And I use that to stop blossom end rot on my tomatoes. I don't know if it works, but I don't get blossom end rot. So that's what I've got to say on the subject. I'm not an expert. I heard it worked. I used it, and I don't get blossom end rot. Well, that's just coincidence, or because I use the milk powder. I don't know. So now I'm going to pot on the onions. So that is some of my onions sown. Potted on. I sowed them ages ago. I'm quite excited about the onions because this is the first time I've grown them from seed. I got a packet in a magazine, Ailsa Craig, and I was a bit about sowing them because I've never done it before. But then I found Rob from Leicester's channel, and he seems to know his onions. I have followed him, and I have had the most incredible germination rate. I think I'm going to have about 50 onions. So I'll keep following him. He obviously knows what he's doing, and thank you, Rob. Great advice. So I'll just show you all these little tiny blades of grass are going to be an onion. How exciting is that? Well, it's 4:45 when I'm losing the light now. So I'll just show you the last of these onions that I have put on for today. It's 24 tray. So yeah, that's a lot of onions. I'm not adding up. I'll give them all a bit of a spray. And then I'm going to close this down. And then that's enough for today. Nice and neat and tidy in there. So just one last thing today. I was going to try and pick some potatoes, go over the potato beds from last year. But the ground's as solid as a rock. I'm not even trying to get a leak out. It's just, solid. So one last thing to do. You may have heard me talking about my allotment friends, my allotment creature friends. I have a fox who very kindly just eats pigeons. He doesn't dig about like other people get. I have a hedgehog. I have a frog. Lots of little birds that I feed over there. You can see the feeders hanging in the tree. But I also seem to have some new critters. I don't know if you can see this, but those broad beans I sowed very, very late actually started to come up right across here. There's another. Yeah, you may notice something about them. Yep, they're stumps. I seem to have mice. So thank you from Nick from Nick's allotment on your advice about taking the seeds home. I'm doing that. I may bring the seeds down, but I always take them home with me at the end of the day. It's just as well you advised me on it, because I probably have no seeds and I'll be crying right now. So everyone, shalom. I'll see you in the next episode.